again, you got 50-year-old Shadow, and they're like, oh, we have to have a 50-year-old man play Shadow because Shadow's 50 years old. It would be weird if he had a smaller, younger sounding voice. It's like, no,
and like,
it's even weirder now that like this adult hedgehog wants to kill this child hedgehog. It's really weird now.
We are here with IGN's review of Sonic 3 and their review of Mufasa, and it's just another example of IGN having zero taste. Nerdigans, you broached this one in your intro. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, so I saw this earlier this morning, and I just was shocked. I saw the Mufasa review. I think it was last night they posted it, and Mufasa had an 8. It was like, okay, something seems a little suspicious with this. And people were in the comments were like, just watch them give Sonic a low score. Just watch with that. And lo and behold, Sonic 3 has a 6. And the thing that's even more odd about this is that in the review, it says that Sonic 3 is the best of the series so far, and the other Sonic movies have 7s. So it's like,
it's one of those things where it's like, when you hear somebody talk about, the movie wasn't that good. It's an okay movie. I give it like an 8 out of 10. It's like, that's not a rating for an okay movie. Like, I don't know.
Yes, right?
It's like, some people, like I said, some people just shouldn't be movie reviewers just for that reason alone. Like, if you say a movie is mediocre, you give it like an 8.5, like out of 10. Like, that's not a mediocre score. Mediocre is like 5 out of 10. Like,
right.
That's like mediocre. Like, don't give it like almost a 9 and talk about, it could have been better. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Us being friends aside, I always think that you have the best like reads of it. Like, or yeah, no, you go ahead, Nerdigans. Then I'll
look, read it right there. It says against all odds, the Sonic movies appear to be getting better as they go. Yeah, and then the first 2 had 7s, and this one has a 6. It's like, this is not as better as they go.
And like, what's insane to me with that, especially Nerdigans, is like, everyone here who saw Sonic, there is that very significant like screw the middle part of it, right, where they go to the wedding and it's just like, we don't care about the aunt. She's the worst character in all of this. So if you gave that movie a 7 and then you gave this one a 6, you're telling me that you enjoyed that stuff more than, I guess, shadow fighting things. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I have to presume they listened.
Yeah, there's from what I heard, there's less humans in here and there's more hedgehogs. They put the focus more on the hedgehogs and obviously Jim Carrey's characters. So it's like, yeah, it even says there fewer human stuff in there. So it's
good.
It's like, what the hell is this? I'm just like, that's why I said, is Disney like paying IGN to just like give Sonic?
Yes, that's exactly what they've been doing for the last several years.
Yeah,
I mean, Richard.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Richard in chat here, he says, just doesn't work for me in movie form. And I find that a lot of people who want to talk about the Sonic movies kind of have that wall with it too. I myself have a bit of a leap with it because the Sonic I know is a bit more, with it. He's a bit more hip. This one's a bit of a 12-year-old who's full of himself. And I don't mind that. I think that's perfectly fine for kids. I am not the target demographic, okay? I concede.
It's not Sonic AM cider.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm more used to like 3D Sonic in the games. I didn't get along well with the TV shows, so I know that character. And that character is like, too cool to be in school. See you later,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of
the opening to Sonic Adventure 2 when they're like, "Hey, you're under arrest," and he's like,
"No, I'm not."
Like, I'm out of here. And then he just grabs the panel and starts like Tommy skyboarding.
Right. And I'm gonna live my life because I can.
Yep. And then dun, woo.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Running around at the speed of sound because of the giant gun truck behind me.
But I see, Cider, I knew you would get that because ever since I played Sonic Adventure 2, I was like, that's what Tommy did. I've never seen another person do what Tommy did.
Yeah, right. And I have wondered, when that game came out after that movie, and I have wondered, they're like, well, that was the coolest Power Ranger that did that. Guess what Sonic's going to do now? Maybe they got Jason David Frank to do the motion capture for it in one of his wind tunnel studio things.
Uncredited, motion capture for Sonic, Shadow, everybody.
Yeah, right. He's everybody. That's right. Well, and the other hiccup I had with this movie is that I honestly believe that Hayden Christensen would have been a better Shadow. When I hear
do agree with
Keanu
that.
Reeves coming out of Shadow's mouth, it's like, why is John Wick a hedgehog? I can't. I don't even hear Neo. I just hear John Wick, and then he pulls out a gun. I'm like, that's John Wick, the hedgehog. And I just wish Hayden got a chance because he has such that revenge voice, and he demonstrated it very well when he came back for the limited run of Kenobi when he didn't have the helmet running, and you could hear his voice instead of the AI one there when they were mixing it. He had a very good, like, I'm still angry at you voice that would have done well against against Sonic. But again, you got 50-year-old Shadow, and they're like, oh, we have to have a 50-year-old man play Shadow because Shadow's 50 years old. It would be weird if he had a smaller, younger-sounding voice. It's like, no, it's even weirder now that, like, this adult hedgehog wants to kill this child hedgehog. It's really weird now.
I'm not against Keanu. Like, I think whenever he shows up, it doesn't feel cynical to me. Like, when he did Cyberpunk, I was like, that's cool. He genuinely wants to do that. Cool. He probably genuinely wanted to do this too, but I'm with you. Hayden should have been it, but I think it went to Keanu, and this is what kind of bums me out because the studio probably went, get a big famous name.
That's right. Googleable name. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like the thing I noticed,
it was basically between like Keanu Reeves and Vin Diesel. Those are the two options.
Honestly, there's probably a track out there of Vin Diesel being like, Sonic, get out of my way.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic, it's about family. That's why I've got to rescue Maria in this Charger, even though I drive a motorcycle canonically.
And
ride or die, remember?
That's what bums me out is that, like, we didn't need this for this series. Like, they did a really good job, at least with like Sonic, picking Ben Schwartz, who was kind of a nobody. So his voice was new. Yes, we had Idris Elba as Knuckles, but I actually think Idris tried really hard to put on like a character voice. Like, you can tell it's him, but you can also be like, that's Knuckles. He's very like straight. He's very flat. With Keanu and Shadow, that's just Keanu, which is like cool, but it feels, it's
really weird. It's really because we're used to having Shadow having like that Vegeta style voice where he's like raspy but a higher tone, and he talks like he's too cool to explain his sentences in a timely fashion. You know, and
instead we're gonna get like the breathy version of that.
Yeah, like Keanu's like, hey, I'm here to tell you, Sonic, that I am the ultimate being, and you need to believe that. And Sonic's like, I'm 12. Do you like pixie sticks? I run on them.
See, now I want them to. I wish they would have taken it to like the full extreme and make like Sonic an actual like 12-year-old instead of like an immature teenager, and then 50-year-old Keanu and make that the movie. Like,
I'm waiting.
Child.
I'm waiting for them to do the whole voice actors play the characters without the CGI, just so you can get an image in your head of a 50-year-old man. Just being way too edgy with a child-voiced actor that's very much younger than him. And you can just see the dynamic I'm talking about. Right, it's like a father being like, I'm going to kill you, son. You know, it's kind of the attitude they have.
It's going to be great. But yeah, like...
And then he's obsessed with a 12-year-old girl. That's the other part, too. It's like you get this old man voice coming out of this hedgehog that's like, Maria, I need to get my AARP check and I'll come to space to save you.
Like, who's older, me or Gerald? Take a guess. That's what we're doing today.
We're the same age, jackass.
But yeah,
you came to my graduation party.
You were there.
We went to college together, Shadow.
Yep.
You were majoring in theater.
Nerd. That's why we didn't talk to you. But yeah, so like Sonic got a 6 from them. Mufasa got an 8. And I can't fathom how anybody can give that an 8, even, especially because like Barry Jenkins, the director, has
money, right? Yeah.
He's just like, this kind of sucked, but I did it. Like there's no
some
passion.
studio executive lighting a cigar with $100 bill. That was exactly what happened.
Oh no, 1,000%. Like it's so funny because everybody's like, "What's it like in CG? Are you gonna do more?" And he tries to do the amicable press thing where it's like, "Oh, it was a different journey, different medium," but you can tell he's just like, "I hate it here. Like I don't want to do this anymore."
Mhm.
He even admits it. He's like, "Yeah, it was a fun experiment, but I think I'm gonna go back to more film, like on film productions." And I was just cracking up because I'm like, nobody wants this. Genuinely, nobody wants this. He even tried to come out today in an interview and be like, "Oh yeah, if you watch this one and then go back and watch the old one, it's gonna have a whole new meaning." And I'm like, "Shut up! You don't need to do that. This is stupid. I don't want prequels. Like, go away."
Just a cash grab, part 6.
Oh, it's such a cash grab. Like,
Well,
and if it gets money, I'm gonna be even more angry.
Yeah.
speaking
But I
of
mean,
cash grabs,
I do want to mention this too.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes gave Sonic an 88%. The critics score did. So that really goes to show you that IGN, you ain't so slick. We see that Disney money.